There was a boy named Aiden who grew up in a small town where dreams were often treated like fantasies, something beautiful to think about but impossible to achieve. His family wasn't poor, but life was tough. His father worked long hours, his mother struggled with health, and Aiden often felt like he had to grow up faster than everyone else. From a young age, he carried a quiet fire inside him, the desire to become someone extraordinary. But whenever he shared his dreams, people laughed. Some said he was unrealistic, others said he wasn't talented enough, and a few warned him that ambition only leads to disappointment. Slowly, the world tried to convince him that he was meant to be ordinary. But Aiden believed something different. Deep inside, he felt that every human carries a power they themselves don't understand. He didn't know what that power was, but he knew he had it, and he knew he had to find it. When he turned 16, life tested him harder than ever. His father lost his job, and his mother's condition worsened. The house felt heavier every day. Silence filled the rooms at night, and Aiden often lay awake thinking, why does life hit the people who already struggle? He wanted to help his family, but he felt small, powerless, and completely alone. One evening, frustrated and overwhelmed, he went for a walk. He wandered into an old part of town and found a closed library with a single light still glowing inside. Curious, he walked in. The librarian, an elderly man with kind eyes, asked him why he looked so burdened. Aiden hesitated, then replied honestly, "Everything is falling apart. I want to change my life, but I don't know where to begin." The old man studied him quietly and then walked to a shelf. He pulled out a worn-out journal, handed it to Aiden, and said, "Read the first page." Aiden opened it. The page had only one sentence written in bold letters. "Your life changes the moment you decide who you truly are." The librarian said, "Most people spend their whole lives trying to change their circumstances. They want a better job, more money, more respect. But they never change themselves. Life doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are." Aiden didn't understand. "But I can't change everything around me." "You don't have to," the old man said. "Just change the world inside you. Your thoughts, your habits, your beliefs, these things shape your destiny. If you want strength, choose to become strong. If you want success, think like a successful person. If you want courage, act like you already have it." The words hit Aiden deeply. He went home with the journal and read it every night. The pages were filled with stories of people who transformed their lives by transforming themselves. There were lessons about discipline, gratitude, mindset, and courage. Aiden made a decision. He was going to rebuild his life from the inside out. He woke up every morning earlier than before. He practiced gratitude even when life felt empty. He studied harder than he ever had. He took care of his mother with love rather than frustration. He helped his father search for new opportunities. And most importantly, he stopped listening to people who told him he couldn't succeed. Weeks turned into months, and Aiden became a different person. He carried himself with confidence. His eyes shined with clarity. He became disciplined, calm, focused, and consistent, qualities he never had before. And slowly, life began responding. Aiden applied for a scholarship that everyone told him was impossible to win. But during the interview, he spoke with a conviction that surprised even himself. A few weeks later, he received a letter. He had been accepted. The scholarship paid for everything, and his family felt a weight lift off their shoulders. But Aiden didn't stop there. At university, he studied harder than most, worked part-time jobs, and read every book he could find on success, psychology, and human potential. He learned something powerful. The mind is like a magnet. It attracts what you focus on. If you think of fear, you attract fear. If you think of failure, you attract obstacles. But if you think of growth, strength, possibility, you attract opportunities. Aiden didn't become successful overnight. There were failures, heartbreaks, and moments where he questioned everything. But each time, he remembered the sentence from the journal. Your life changes the moment you decide who you truly are. Years passed, and Aiden became a respected leader in his field. People admired him, quoted him, and often asked how he transformed his life. He always gave the same answer. I changed myself first. One morning, Aiden returned to his hometown for a visit. He walked into the old library, but the librarian was gone. the building was closed permanently. Yet Aiden smiled, because he knew the real gift was never the journal. It was the belief the librarian planted inside him. The belief that who you become is more important than what you have. Aiden went on to inspire thousands of people. He taught them that life doesn't bend for those who wait, it bends for those who rise. He taught them that strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And he taught them that dreams don't come true because you wish for them, they come true because you grow strong enough to hold them. And so, the boy who once felt powerless became a man who helped others find their power. He didn't change the world around him. He changed the world inside him, and everything else followed.